This episode is brought to you by shockwheels.com, the home of electric scooters exclusively for adults. Head over to shockwheels.com to view their range now. You are now listening to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast, the most interactive horror movie review podcast available. Every week I invite you to my Instagram page at Home of Halloween, where you get to vote on the movie I review next. Not only that, I want you to have a voice. I want you to be part of the show. Go to anchor.fm/Home of Halloween, leave me a voicemail and I will give it a play on the air. I also want you to be able to review the movies, which being a podcast is very tricky to do, but we found a way. I've created the 3-word review. Every week on Instagram and Twitter, I will post a picture of the movie we're reviewing and ask for your 3-word review. The best 3-word reviews get a read on the air and you get a shout out for your account as well. I want to say a special thank you to Madman Audio, whose music you're now listening to. He's a great supporter of the show, a brilliant guy. Head over to his YouTube channel and give him some support. Without any further ado, let's find out what movie you asked me to review this week.
You are not content with the stories, so I was obliged to come. Be my victim.
Candyman, 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 Candyman. That's right, today we're looking at Candyman. Another brilliant pick from everyone over on Instagram. Thank you very much. By the time you're going to hear this and this goes out, there's a new poll on our Instagram. It's picking movies for the season finale. That's right, this podcast is done in seasons, if you didn't know already. 10 episodes per season. This is episode 9. So the next one is episode 10. It's the big grand finale before we get a bit of a new twist and some new bits for season 2. But right now I'm going to play you the trailer for Candyman and then we're going to get on with the review.
Have you ever heard of Candyman? If you look in the mirror, you say his name 5 times.
In cities everywhere,
Candyman.
they whisper his name.
Right. Candyman.
It's just a story,
Candyman.
Candyman.
just a ghost story.
Candyman.
An entire community starts attributing the daily horrors of their lives to a mythical figure.
The legend first appeared in 1890. He was attacked, mutilated, and burned to death. Poor Candyman.
Helen, a woman died in there. Leave it.
Everyone knows he isn't real.
That's modern oral folklore.
Everyone. Except Helen Lyle.
Bernadette. It ain't safe around here. I don't scare too easy. Wanna know about Ruthie Jean? They ain't never gonna catch him. Who? Candyman.
Who is that?
I came for you.
Do I know you?
Now she is about to discover
Helen? Get out! Get out!
what's behind the mystery.
I'm sick.
What's behind the legend.
Listen, he's under the bed!
And most terrifying of all,
Come with me.
what's behind the mirror.
He's here.
Candyman. You don't have to believe. Just beware.
And that, my friends, is the trailer for Candyman. Candyman was released in 1992, so Candyman come after the boom of horrors with the 80s, which I still think is one of the best decades for horror. What Candyman done is it brought something completely different to the table. I don't think until Candyman there was anything like this. So Candyman follows the story of Helen Lyle, who's investigating the urban legend of the Candyman. So the urban legend of the Candyman is if you stand in front of a mirror and you say his name 5 times, he will appear to you and he will kill you. And there's been lots of versions of this story that all stemmed from the Candyman film. So if you've heard of the Bloody Mary, where you say her name 3 times in a mirror, that come from Candyman. So Candyman created something that's almost embedded now into popular culture. So I remember being at school and the people say, oh, you can't say Candyman 5 times into the mirror. And funnily enough, I discussed this with my eldest boys the other day, and I asked if it was still a thing, if it's still something that people talk about. And believe it or not, there is still talk of within the schooling, the college thing of saying Candyman 5 times in a mirror is deemed as bad luck. This film came out in 1992. It's almost 40 years old, and that saying his name in the mirror 5 times is ingrained into our society. And I can't think of any other film that's done that. So Helen Lyle is investigating the legend of the Candyman, and in doing so, she's invoking his name as well. And it leads her to a bad place where lots of bad things start happening around her. There's murders and there's other things around her, but I'm not going to give too much away. All I'm going to say is this film is a 100% on your watch list. If you've not seen Candyman, you cannot call yourself a fan of horror. This film is essential to any horror fans watching. Because it's so different, and even now there's still nothing that is like it. So I'm going to give it a score. I score between 1 and 10. 1 being it's so shit, I probably turned it off. A 10 being it's outstanding in every possible way, and 5 being middle of the road, average. So with this, I'm going to score Candyman an 8 out of 10. It's a good, well-constructed film with a brilliant script, excellent performances from Virginia Marsden, who plays Helen Lyle, and Tony Todd, who plays the Candyman. All in all, it's great. I also score out of 1 to 5 for fear, 1 being didn't bother me at all, 5 being I'm hiding behind a sofa and I'm genuinely terrified. This brought back some really, really deeply repressed memories of fear from when I watched this when I was younger. This scores a 4 from me. It really genuinely is. It's a scary film. Even now it holds up with fear. Again, it's a film that didn't rely heavily on special effects. All of them are practical effects, so there's no CGI, because in 1992 that wasn't really that much of a thing. So it holds up well, and it's a good movie. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors, and then I'm going to dive into some of the facts, and then your 3-word reviews. The summer's here, the sun is shining, it's time for parties. And with parties, that means fancy dress, which means you get to use our discount code HOHSALE to get 10% off your shop at ilovefancydress.com. They've got everything you need for any parties coming in the summer, for birthday parties that are themed 1940s, 1950s, pirates, dinosaurs. It's there. But also general summer stuff, Hawaiian, 4th of July. They've got absolutely everything you could need to dress yourself up and look great. So that's ilovefancydress.com with discount code HOHSALE, that's HOH sale, for 10% off your order. Go do it right now. Okay, into some facts about this movie. if you don't know the facts about this film, you're going to think that I'm absolutely full of shit, because you will not believe I'm not being funny. When I read some of the facts on this film, I had to check and check again, because I called bullshit on so many of these. This film is insane. The filming of this film is absolutely insane. So let's start with the less insane facts, and then we'll work our way up to the stuff that is like, I don't fucking believe you. So the opening scene, when you come out and you've got all these amazing skyline shots. This was shot in 1992. Drones were not a thing. The way this was done was all on cranes. Cameras on high-mounted cranes that panned through the city. There is no other film of this time that does that, and does it so smooth and well. It's an amazing bit of videography that needs to be admired. So that's fact number one. Now let's start getting into some of the really, really bizarre ones. So Eddie Murphy was originally considered to play Candyman. The only reason it wasn't Eddie Murphy is because he wasn't tall enough. Now, Tony Todd has done an amazing job as Candyman. There is no way in the world Eddie Murphy could have pulled off evil and menacing. And I don't get that. But thankfully we got Tony Todd, and it was great. Tony Todd done a deal with the directors, so that there's a scene in Candyman where there's lots of bees involved. As I say, I'm not going to give it away. I want you to go and watch it. So there's lots of bees involved. Tony Todd negotiated with the directors and the producers a fee per bee sting. So he negotiated $1,000 per sting. And he got stung in that scene 26 times. So he made $26,000 for what was probably a 10-minute scene. And that's mad. With the Helen Lyle character, so when Helen Lyle is in the presence of Candyman, she almost slips into a trance. How they achieved this trance-like state is they actually hypnotised Virginia Marsden. They actually hypnotised her, which is so insane that you would actually hypnotise one of your actresses to get the best result. But they done that. They hypnotised her, and those scenes are incredible. And it's genuinely because she's out of it. She's not with us. I think that's enough of the facts, apart from one other that I want to touch on. In the book this was based on, it was based on a book called The Forbidden by Clive Barker. This was originally set in the UK, in Liverpool. And I would love to have seen the UK version of this to see how different they would have made it. But now I think it's time to get on with the 3-word reviews. Here's this week's 3-word reviews of Candyman. Wednesday, Wine and Horror, Death by Bees. Luna Noir 1084, Release the Bees. Fellow podcasters, watching horror podcast, Mind Your Business. The_Shawning_77, Hook, Line, Sinker. Halloween_fan_91, Traumatized My Childhood. Freddy_Krueger_6, Be My Victim. AOD 108, Scared for Life. And official Bruce Martin, I'll Be Damned. And those are this week's 3-word reviews. And if you want to get involved in the 3-word review and get a shout out on the air, all you need to do is keep an eye on our Instagram page or our Twitter page. They're both at Home of Halloween. And every week, once the movie's been voted for and selected by you, I put a picture of the movie cover or a character from the movie, and all I say is review this in 3 words. I then pick the best and read those on the next episode. So if you get in this week, you could be read out on the season finale. But before I go into something else, I've got a bit of a treat for you in a minute with Candyman and where Candyman's going next. But before I do that, I want to make a special thank you to Madman Audio. So Madman Audio provided the intro and outro music for the whole of season 1. And I've been talking to him recently, and he's done some really special stuff for us for season 2. I'm not going to go too much into it, but a huge thank you to Madman Audio. And you must go and check him out on YouTube. Go and find him. Go find him on Instagram. Follow his links. Go and see what he does. The man's incredible, and I can't thank him enough. Also, a thank you to Shock Wheels and I Love Fancy Dress who've agreed to stay with us for season 2. So again, there's going to be more of that on the season finale, so I'm not going to get too much into it. What I've got now, though, is a bit of a treat. So Candyman has had 2 sequels, Candyman 2 and Candyman 3. 2 was okay, 3 kind of lost its way. Candyman is about to get almost like a reboot / sequel. Think what they done with Halloween 2018, where they kind of ignore all the bits where it went a bit wrong and they just do a straight on sequel. This movie looks great, and I'm genuinely excited because I think this could be the remake of all remakes. From everything I've seen and heard, this will outstrip any other remake prior the 80s. So I don't think it'll do better than the remake when they done The Thing. But I think this is going to be a top quality remake. And the treat for you is I want you to listen to the trailer and see what you think.
Candyman. The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Who would do that?
Candyman. 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 Candyman.
Well, we're still alive. Let's go.
Trina, you broke the door.
This isn't funny!
I feel really connected to this neighborhood. Cabrini Green. It was the projects. I just moved in around the corner.
The old candy factory.
I'm an artist.
You looking for Candyman?
He's the monster.
It's part of this neighborhood.
Why are you drawn to this?
I'm hoping to spread the story all about Candyman. The mirror invites you to summon him. You should say his name. I dare you.
Candyman.
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 Don't say that.
Candyman.
I think I made a mistake. I brought him back.
Candyman isn't real!
Something's happening to me.
He had a purpose for you. To be another one of his terrible stories.
I guess he found me. I am the writing on the wall. The sweet smell of blood. Be my victim.
This is not real. It's not real. Candyman.
And that's the trailer for Candyman, which is coming out later this year, or August this year. We've had quite a lot of remakes that have been done really badly recently. Or not recently, but the last wave of big remakes. So they remade Freddy in 2010, they remade Friday the 13th, neither of which were all that fucking great. The studios are in a habit now of remaking stuff and remaking utter shit. And I'm glad to say when they done the Halloween remake / sequel, they done that so well. And I think that's given a bit of inspiration and a bit of hope for horror fans that we can get good quality remakes. So Candyman 2021, I think even though Halloween is coming out this year, Halloween Kills, I think Candyman is going to be the horror movie of the year. I don't say that lightly because I know there's lots and lots of Halloween fans who Halloween Kills will be the best thing ever. But I think the remake of Candyman could be their horror movie of the year. And that's no small feat when we've had The Conjuring 3's come out. We've had A Quiet Place 2 has come out. We've had Army of the Dead come out. We've had some big films this year. And Candyman's the one I think is going to do it. But before I leave you all, I want to just touch on something that I wasn't going to initially, but I think it's very important that I do. So Candyman touches on lots of racial issues and a racial divide. It's something that is done incredibly well in this film. But if you're going to watch it, bear in mind that this is a dated mindset when you watch it. You're watching something that was made in the 90s, and now I don't think would hold up as socially acceptable as it did then. It was done in a very good way, and I think they got the point across of the social divide and the racial element. But I don't know if it will, in today's eyes, upset people. So I feel that I need to point that out before you rush off and watch this and then start sending me messages going, this is awful. But what I want you to do when you've listened to this episode is go over to our Instagram at Home of Halloween, get involved in the polls, pick the films. It's the You Run podcast because I want you to run it. I'm inherently lazy. So if you choose the films, I just watch them. If you give me your 3-word reviews, you do the job for me. It's really not that hard. You make my life easier by being part of the show, and I really, really appreciate that. Also, don't forget you can call us. You can leave us a voice message that I'll play on the air. We've not had one for a couple of weeks, so fingers crossed we're gonna get some moving into season 2. Season finale's up next. Season finale's going to have a bit of a different feel. There's going to be some information given on season 2 and where we're going. I'm very excited in where we're going, and I can't wait to share it. And I'm struggling not to tell you in this episode. I don't know if you found this episode as a bit more disjointed than normal, and that's purely because I'm reining myself in because I've busted to tell you what's coming in season 2. And with the season finale is going to be a banger. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much to everyone on our Instagram page and our Twitter page, and even our Facebook group now is starting to pick up a bit. So we're Home of Halloween on Facebook as well. Thank you to everyone who's listened. Thank you to everyone who calls in. Just thank you. I can't thank you enough that you've helped me get to the point that I'm going to go in to do a second season. And thank you very much. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Goodbye.